Hello and welcome. My name is Osvaldo Beltran. I am a realtor with the Digonzini Group, and we are out of the Keller Williams La Quinta office here in Palm Springs. The purpose of today's video is really to go over what's going on in the market today. In essence, this is a series I want to put together for a weekly recap of the market. So, what we'll go over today is a little bit about what's happening this week. In addition to, I'm going to go over a report that we received about 2 days ago, which is from March numbers from our board of realtors. So let's go ahead and get started. This is an email I actually received today from the California Association of Realtors, and it actually, highlights a few snippets on here. So it states on here that in the state of California, about 50% fewer homes listed. There was 50% fewer homes listed in the market from last February. This is for the whole state of California. And the median number of days that the homes were on the market were 10 days, which is just 1 day longer from the low we saw in November of 2020, which was a few months ago. In essence, it really kind of puts into perspective one of the reasons why there's multiple offer situations, right? So the article itself is from CNBC, and it talks about the fierce bidding wars that they're seeing throughout the state of California. Then I also wanted to point out one other interesting thing I saw here. I saw this article a few days ago, but it's also from CNBC, which actually talks about there is 2.5 million homeowners that are currently enrolled in a mortgage forbearance program, and it talks about the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau stepping in with new rules that they're working on to ensure that any foreclosures don't really take effect or start until the end of the year. So we know that with the eviction moratorium, there was a hold on evictions throughout, which was supposed to be ending. However, now we're seeing that they are making a push so that when it comes to homeowners, they're not going to see any foreclosures until December 31st of 2020. This is something that's still being worked on. So we'll keep you informed as we learn about this program, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in, and let's go over what's happened in the desert in the last 24 hours. So I actually keep a hot sheet for the last 24 hours, and the cities I actually include in here are going to be Desert Hot Springs, Palm Springs, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, Indian Wells, La Quinta, Indio, and Coachella. So about 9 cities that are included on here. And if we look at just in the last 24 hours, there was 74 new listings. So new listings, properties that came up on the market. Active under contract means properties that went into escrow. So in the last 24 hours, there was almost 50 homes that accepted an offer, went into escrow. Properties that closed, meaning sold and recorded in the last 24 hours, we're showing 74. So that's an even number, right? 74 new properties came into the market while 74 came off the market because they sold, right? So that's pretty interesting. Now let's look at trend graphics, which was a report that we pulled from our board of realtors. And in here, I have already checked in the cities that we're going through. So the difference between the hot sheet that I had on here I did include unincorporated areas like Thousand Palms and Bermuda Dunes. So those are the two additional areas that I included on here. But I went ahead and pulled that report, and this is what we're showing right now. So homes for sale. This is an interesting thing to look at. So January of 2020, there was 3,200 homes for sale on the market, active. Homes that had sold were around 745, and homes that were going into escrow or pending. That's what pended would be. Homes in escrow 767. But let's look at the amount of active homes for sale and how they have been decreasing as we pretty much went through the whole year 2020, right? So throughout the pandemic year of 2020, which we're still in the pandemic, right? But we've seen a decrease in the amount of homes that have been listed for sale to the point where right now, as we speak, average homes listed for sale is 727. Now that is one of the lowest we've seen in quite a long time. Actually, if let me pull this report here. This one came from this is the Desert Housing Report for March of 2021. It came from the Board of Realtors out here in the desert. And if we look at inventory, sorry for scrolling so fast, but I'm looking for one particular slide here. Here it is. Valley housing inventory. And this actually covers from April of 2016. So it's interesting to see how in April of 2016, we were right under 6,000 homes listed on average for sale for the whole Coachella Valley. Whereas, let's just say right around what we just saw earlier, we were around 3,000 homes for sale. Then by the end of October of 2020, we were at right around 2,600, which is kind of where this the right there, November of 2020. So if we look at that, we were on around 2,600 homes for sale. And then now at this point, we're at 742 average. So that's quite a drop. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we're seeing so much competition amongst buyers for these few homes that are for sale. I mean, it's just the amount of homes that are going for sale is a lot less than what we've seen in other years. So that causes the bidding wars and multiple offer situations, right? Let's look at a few other things. So if we look at average price per square foot, we could see here just from month over month. So from February 2020 to March of 2021, there was a modest increase of 2.3. So it went up. However, if we look at from a year ago, from same period in 2020, we could see that there's an increase of 23.7% in the average price per square foot sold. So we've seen an increase there. And again, all of these scenarios are being played out by the low inventory, right? So days on market has been decreasing as we see throughout the year 2020 until right now. We've seen a decrease. Right now, average days on market is at 54 days. This is for the whole Coachella Valley, for all these cities we have here, right? Sales price versus original list price. This talks about what a property is listed for and what it actually sells for. So in this case, we're seeing a 98% from sales price versus original list price, meaning there's a 2% difference between the listing price and the sales price, right? However, this covers the whole Coachella Valley. What we see is if we start focusing on certain cities, specific cities, or certain communities, you're going to see that number at 100% or even higher. Whereas really nowadays, in many of these homes, the listed price is the starting point, right? So that means this is the starting point, and then from there it goes up. However, still on average throughout the whole cities, we're still at 98%. And then months inventory, which is something I covered right now earlier, but actually no, I covered the inventory. But what actually months of inventory, what this covers is, let's just look at a scenario like in January of 2020, we were at about four and a half months of inventory. What that means is if there is no new listings that would go for sale, we would deplete the amount of homes for sale at the rate that we're putting homes in escrow, we would deplete it in about 4.5 months, right? We saw a little increase during the first 2-3 months of the pandemic. However, from there, we just saw that number drop, all the way down to right now. What we're seeing is, in the current state we're in, if no new listings come on the market, we would deplete the listings available in about half a month. Again, one of the other reasons why the market is what it is, right? So let me go over what it is like in a situation with buyers, right? Because I often hear, let's see, do we have the graphs here? And actually, I'm pulling this. Here it is. I'm pulling these from the book Shift. So this is a book that was written back in right after the market crash in 2007. So that's when the book was written. Shift is out there. You could find it on Amazon or anywhere on the internet. But this is actually a graph that it appears on the book. And just to begin with, this is what's interesting, right? So one of the biggest reasons why a lot of buyers are still jumping into the market is just the low interest rates, right? We still have very low interest rates, and even though we've seen a little bit of a jump on some of these, we're still right around 3 and look at what we were seeing some years back. So, anyways, this scenario actually goes over 3 different scenarios as far as pricing and the effects of the interest rate, right? So if we look at this example, home price at $200,000 with an interest rate of 6%, your monthly payment would be at about $1,199. Scenario number 1, home prices decrease by 5%, interest rates increase by half a point. So now you're buying a home at 190 with a 5% decrease. You're buying a home with an interest rate of 6.5, which is just a half a point increase. Your monthly payment would be at $1,201. And then the last scenario here, home prices decreased by 10%. So the price goes down 10%. Now you're paying $180 for that same home. However, interest rates have increased by 1 point. So now instead of a 6%, you're at a 7%. Your payment would be at about $1,198. So what this graph intends to show is that any increase in the interest rate could offset any of the savings that you might see. So that's one of the biggest reasons why most buyers are not necessarily going to wait, right? Because their buying power is a lot stronger as the interest rates have gone down and stayed low. So if they wait, there's always the risk that even though prices could go down, interest rates could go up, right? So in essence, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to go over for this week. So if there is any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My cell phone number is 760-449-8015. You can always email me, and I'm going to put that information down under in the description. You can always email me at obeltran@kw.com. And you could actually put any comments on today's video or any questions right on the comments under there. And do me a favor, if you haven't done so yet, please like this video. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to receive notifications every time I post a new video. The intention really is to keep you updated on what's going on in the market, in addition to just provide valuable information about buying here in the Palm Springs area. So again, thank you very much for watching. My name is Osvaldo Beltran. I'm known as Ozzie, and I am part of the Digonzini group here in the Keller Williams La Quinta office. Talk to you later.